Hey there everyone, what's up? I am back today with a pickups video, which I haven't done in a couple months, so you'd think there's a ton of stuff, but there's actually not a ton of stuff. I've been playing a lot of my backlog stuff recently, so I mean, it explains why I haven't had any videos either, because I don't usually talk about my older stuff in impressions videos or anything, so, and I've been mostly playing like, I don't know, PS1, Sega Saturn, and PC Engine, and some PSP stuff. A lot of PSP stuff, actually. But yeah, so I haven't really bought all that much stuff. But I do have a bit of a pile here, and this is like since whenever I did my last pickups video. So it's actually not a lot of stuff considering the amount of time that's passed. But it's still a pretty hefty pile here now, so I guess we'll go through it. And I think I've beaten a bunch of these games already. Um, I've, I've probably talked about a bunch of them at least. Maybe not. Whatever. So let's see. First, I'm not. This is like kind of random order. It's just a pile here, so there's no rhyme or reason to this. But the first game here is a Super Famicom game, and it's Super R-Type. And Super R-Type, it's an R-Type game. Super R-Type is a pretty good game. I still think I enjoy the first R-Type the most out of any R-Type game. It's just the kind of game that has that extra nostalgia added in for me. But, yeah. Super R-Type is a pretty good game. I think, out of all the shooters, and like, I'm not a huge shooter fan. I think I've said that before. But, R-Type is a shooter that I really, really like. There are a few that I really like, and they're all kind of old, because when I was a shooter fan was when I was like 10. So R-Type, Gradius, Life Force, those games I love, but past that, not many shooters that I'm really interested in. But R-Type as a series is one that I hopefully I'll be able to get every game for. There's only one that I think is going to be a pain, and that is R-Type Tactics 2, which is like one of the most expensive PSP games. It's so hard to find, and I've never seen a copy. I've never seen a physical copy of it, but also every time I've seen copies of it online, it's like over $150. So it's the kind of thing where like, someone hits the lotto out there and they're like really looking to give me a gift. R-Type Tactics 2. Other than that, who knows? Maybe I'll hit upon a bucket of money somewhere. What else? Let's see. We've got. This is Furai no Shiren 4, or Shiren the Wanderer 4 for the DS. And this was the one and only game I got for my birthday, which is fine. I mean, I don't care. But Shiren the Wanderer, this is if you've played the third one on the Wii or the PSP, if you got it in Japan, it's just like that. I mean, it's on the DS, but it plays exactly the same. And I liked that one, and I liked all the other ones. The only one I haven't actually played is Shiren 2, which is on the Nintendo 64. There might be a remake of it on the DS, actually. But I haven't played that one. But I played 1 and 3, and now I'm going to play 4. And I've played one of the side stories on the Dreamcast. But this is a roguelike in the Mystery Dungeon series, so it's like roguelike light, I guess. You can, you can keep items after you die in this, sort of. Maybe there's an easy setting like on the Wii version, but I haven't tried that yet. I've only put in about an hour into this so far because I only got it a week ago. But yeah, it was pretty good when I played it. It plays a lot like the old Shiren games, so I can't really complain. But all of these games there's methods, like ways to keep items instead of losing everything automatically when you die. You can save stuff, so that's why I'm saying it's roguelike light. I'm not like explaining the series, but whatever. Not important. Next game. We've got Nintendo 3DS game. We got Ghost Recon Shadow Wars. And I got this like right before Tokyo Game Show, so sometime like 2 months ago almost. And I got it right before Tokyo Game Show because I was like, well, I want to play something on the train, and I want to bring my 3DS because I want to do street passes there. So I bought this because I found it. It was like serendipity at that point. Like I walked into the store and I was like, I want to get something. Maybe I'll get a DS game, a 3DS game, whatever. And this was there, and it's always really expensive. It's the only reason I haven't picked it up is because it's always like $40 used. And I went into the store and I found this for $16, and I thought that's the cheapest I've ever seen it. I'm gonna buy it. And this is kind of it's like a tactical RPG really, but not exactly. I mean, it's more just like a strategy tactics game. But I mean, the characters level up and stuff, but not all of them. So it's kind of weird. It's not as good as like Fire Emblem or something, and it's not like an XCOM or something. It's not as good as any of those, but it's a pretty good game, and it's been recommended by a lot of people, and a lot of people recently picked it up too. I saw it in like 2 or 3 other pickup videos that people had, and I was like, wow, I got that too. But Ghost Recon Shadow Wars, it's good stuff. I haven't finished it. I'm probably about halfway through it actually, but I put it down to start playing Shiren. Next, we got some PSP stuff. PSP, we got Monster Hunter 3rd, and I'm not like really excited to play this. I'm gonna play it eventually, but I'm not like a huge Monster Hunter fan. But this was like so cheap, I couldn't not buy it. It was the kind of thing where like I was like ordering stuff online, and there was a sale going on, and there's like a certain level at the sale where you're purchasing things where the shipping is free. So I was like, I don't know, like 40 yen short or something. And I was like looking for really cheap games, and this one, this game was 60 yen. That's like about 60 cents, a little less than that actually. And I thought, well, even if it's awful, it's 60. Even if I'm like not enjoying it at all, I can get 60 cents worth of enjoyment out of this. And technically, it was like negative 300 yen because by adding it to my cart, my total value actually went down because I didn't have to pay shipping anymore. So it was a kind of thing where like, yeah, whatever. Monster Hunter 3 on the PSP. Next on the PSP, we've got Princess Crown. And Princess Crown is originally a Saturn game that they ported to the PSP. And I'm going to say ported loosely with air quotes because I don't think this is a port. I think it's probably an emulation running on the PSP because from what I've heard, they lost the original data for this game, which is the reason they didn't release it in English. They said it's not possible because they don't have the original data. I guess that's what it is. My guess is that it's probably straight up the Sega Saturn version running through some kind of emulation. But yeah, it's Princess Crown on the PSP. Next we got a bunch of other stuff. Oh wait, okay, I haven't talked about this yet. I don't think I have. This is Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I might have mentioned this before. I might have shown it in the last video even, but I'm not sure. But it was another game that was like super cheap, and I'd always been interested in it, but nobody I knew had it. And if I'm gonna play a fighter, I need to play with people I know, or it's not that fun. And I can play online randomly, but it's less fun to do that because I'm not like gonna put in my headphones and listen to like people get salty. It's the kind of thing where like you want to have at least one friend or two friends or so that have the same game, and like when it came out, none of my friends bought it, so it was the kind of thing where like I didn't buy it because although I was interested, nobody bought it. So now though it was like $5, and I thought, well, $5, I can get $5 worth of single player enjoyment and some online, and I've gotten $5 worth of enjoyment out of it. I was playing online with Sprites and Bytes and Doom Waves, and it's fun. Like I started playing when I originally started playing. I played through the game once with one character, And then I was like, I'll try and play online, and then I got mauled. And then I started practicing a little more, learning the system a little more, and I played like 5 or 6 hours one night with Chance and Gareth, and then I tried to play online, and I was destroying people. So it was like a totally different story then. So it's actually a pretty fun game. I mean, despite the DLC debacle that was related to this game, I didn't get the DLC, and I don't care. The characters I want to use are there from the beginning anyway. So it's the kind of thing where, like, I don't really care about not being able to use the extra characters, and it was $5. So what can I say? Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's, if you've got it, hit me up. I'll still play. I'm I'm a huge Capcom fighting fan. Capcom fighters. I've got Street Fighter 4. Anyone wants to play, hit me up. Or Street Fighter Cross Tekken, hit me up. I've got. I'm trying to think of what else I've got. Nothing on the PS3 actually. Probably Persona. Everything else on the 360, and my 360 Gold account is no longer valid, and I'm not going to renew it because I'm not going to bother. Because I don't have an Xbox One yet, so there's no point. But continuing on, we've got something for the PC Engine, and this is Cyber City Oedo 808. This game, I don't really know a lot about it. I think somebody else was talking about it, and I want to say it was Playongo, but it might not have been. And it might have been like Playongo talking about anime he's watched, and this wasn't based on an anime. But the setting for it, whoever was talking about it, I swear it's Playongo, but it might not be, was, kind of cyberpunk, futuristic cyberpunk kind of visual novel. And I thought, well, Snatcher is good, so, and I like cyberpunk, and I like cyberpunk settings, so, yeah, might as well. So I picked 08008 up, and I haven't played it yet. I will eventually, though, because, cyberpunk stuff. I just gotta be in a cyberpunk mood, and then I've got a go-to game already. I got a bunch of PS1 stuff here, too, but I got another Super Famicom game. We should show that first. I got Derby Stallion 3. Derby Stallion, you can see it's a thoroughbred simulation game. It says it right there. But thoroughbred simulation, it means it's a horse breeding game with some kind of racing. The racing is not a part of the game that you actually play. You just breed the horses and put them in races, and that happens automatically. I love simulation games. I know I've mentioned this a million times, and I've never talked about any other simulation games except when I get them. But I really like these horse breeding simulation games. I really don't know how I got into it. I think I got one in a lot of games once, and I've started playing it, and then I found myself like I'll play it for a couple minutes, and then like 3 hours later, I'm still playing. So it was the kind of thing where like, oh, kind of like this game. So this one is, I believe this is the last one on the Super Famicom. It looks pretty good actually, though. So I'd guess it is, but it might not be. There might be others. So yeah, I got a bunch of PS1 stuff and a couple PS2 games to wrap us up. I guess we'll go with the PS2 stuff first because, why not? Let's see. Bandai Namco is well represented here. First thing we got here is SD Gundam Generation Neo, and this game, I'm not a Gundam fan. I've never watched a Gundam anime. I've never. I've read one Gundam manga because I translated it. I'm not a Gundam fan, but after playing Superhero Generation, which I should have shown, but it's on the other side of the room, and I'm not going to show it. I'll put up an impressions video later. But after playing Superhero Generation, and I'm not finished with it yet, but I'm probably about 70% done. But Superhero Generation is awesome. It's really fun, and the battle system is awesome. The way the strategy RPG elements work is really nice, and I heard it's based on this series. So when I saw this at my local recycle shop for 50 yen, I thought, okay, more generation game. That's right up my alley. So I figured I'd try this out, and if it's as fun as Superhero Generation, despite not having the superhero characters, the tokusatsu characters, then I'll probably enjoy it. Speaking of tokusatsu characters, we've got this is a Kamen Rider game for the PS2, Kamen Rider Seigi no Keifu, which is like the genealogy of justice or something. But this, okay, Kamen Rider is totally screwed on games because, you know, Ultraman and Kamen Rider on the same kind of level there. They have these kind of games where it's usually poorly executed fighting games, or yeah, that's the kind of it. But recently, Kamen Rider's been getting a bunch of different types of games, and this is not a recent game, but recently there's like the Summon Ride, which is the kind of Kamen Rider Skylanders type thing, and then there was Bat Ride War, which is like a Dynasty Warriors kind of game. But previous to that, in the PS2 era, there was this Seigi no Keifu, which is like a kind of Resident Evil clone with Kamen Rider, which sounds bizarre, but apparently, like, it's a third-person, kind of slower-paced action game with puzzle solving like Resident Evil, except when there's enemies, you punch and kick them. So, when I heard the description of that, I thought that sounds awesome. So I bought it. It was not expensive, and I'm pretty excited to get into that actually. But continuing on, the other PS2 game here, we've got this is Tokyo Bus Annai, which is like I don't even know how to explain that. Tokyo Bus Tour, I guess. And this is a simulation game as you're a tour bus driver in Tokyo. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I don't got anything more to say about it. You're a bus driver. Bus driver simulation game. I'm a big fan of simulation games. On that same note, we get another simulation game here. This is Tower Dream 2. And this, if you've ever played like Sim Tower or The Tower or whatever on PS1, this is a similar kind of game. You're building buildings, I guess, and lots of shops go in there. You build the elevators. It's like an elevator simulator, really, but whatever. Tower Dream 2. These games, like, you can see this is like part of a series, the Super Light 1500 series, meaning the new price for this game was 1500 yen when it came out. But there are a lot of really good simulation games in this series, and some of them are like ridiculously expensive. Like Burger 2, for example, which is another game that's like I really want to buy, but it's prohibitively expensive for what it is. Continuing on, we got a Pete Dorr recommended hidden gem on the PS1. This is, I'm not saying he recommended it directly to me. He made a hidden gems video about this, just like an actual hidden gem video. This is Omega Boost on the PS1. Omega Boost, it's kind of like a rail shooter almost with mechs. I'm not a huge fan of mechs. You would be surprised considering the stuff I bought, but I don't really like mech games. I'm not like a huge fan of giant robots or whatever. But this was, again, another game that was like 50 yen at the recycle shop, and I thought, well, I can't leave it behind. I can't leave it behind because I like rail shooters and could be fun. If it plays like Panzer Dragoon, then maybe it'll be fun, even though it's mechs. So, Omega Boost. Next, we've got some other stuff. This is a Super Robot Taisen. This is the fourth one. Super Robot Wars 4 Scramble. This is in the series of Super Robot Taisen games. Like the fourth one was retconned out of the timeline apparently, but whatever. This was another one of those 50 yen games where I thought, like, you know, I like strategies, simulation games, so, you know, even though it's Super Robot Wars, still get it. But, okay, in that same vein, though, I bought some games that are kind of spin-offs. They're kind of spin-offs of the Super Robot Wars games. And And these ones I'm actually excited about. They're not strategy RPGs, though. They're turn-based RPGs. And that's this one. This is Superhero Sakusen, or Superhero Operations, as it says on the side here. You can't really see that, can you? Ah, whatever. There you go. Superhero Operations. Maybe you can't see it. I don't know. I couldn't see it, so I flipped it to see if it was right or wrong. Whatever. Superhero Operations is like a crossover type of game, but it's not a Kanpachi Heroes game, which involves Kamen Rider, but it does have Gundam and Ultraman and a bunch of like tokusatsu TV show characters that I don't really know. But it's a turn-based RPG, and I looked up some gameplay of it, and it looks like a PS1 RPG, and it looks fun. So I figure this one looked pretty good, and this wasn't my first choice, actually. There's a sequel. That was my first choice, but I figured I should play the first one first, and then play the sequel. But I did buy the sequel. So this is Superhero Sakusen Daidol no Yabo, which is Superhero Operations, Daidol's Ambition, which it says on the side here. But yeah, this one actually does have Kamen Rider in it, so it is kind of like a Kanpachi Heroes game, but it has also other characters that aren't part of Kamen Rider and Ultraman and Gundam. It's got these other tokusatsu characters that I don't really know. But yeah, that's the big chunk of it, I guess. That's this game. This is another one that looks cool too, and I'm pretty excited for these. Actually, I'm gonna play some of these. But I'll make another video about that pretty soon. I'm gonna probably do a let's play of something, but I'm gonna put up a video for voting to see what you guys want to see more than. And it's less like that. I want you guys to decide, but that I have a bunch of stuff I want to play, and I can't myself decide what I want to play first, because like any of them I would play first. But it's better if it's something that you guys might want to see. So yeah, I'll put up that video later. But for now, that's the games I bought for the past 2 months or so. So it's not a ton of stuff. I mean, it's probably half the amount I would usually buy, and I think the total cost of all this stuff was less than $50. So I don't really feel bad about spending money or anything in the past 2 months. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.